Good morning. Uh, Myself Jagdish Arya, Department of CSC BITM Belagi. So as already we have discussed about the circuit switching network. So we have left out with the problem. Just now once again we start the example. You can just read the example as a trivial example. Let us use a circuit switching network to connect eight telephones in a small area. Eight telephones in a small area. Communication is through 4 kilohertz voice channel. Each channel is having the bandwidth, uh, sorry, frequency 4 kilohertz. We assume that each link uses frequency division multiplexing FDM to connect a maximum of two voice channels. The bandwidth of each link is then 8 kilohertz frequency. Figure next shows the situation. Telephone 1 is connected to a telephone 7, and 2 is connected to a 5, and 3 is connected to a 8, and 4 is connected to a 6. Of course, the situation may change when new connections are made. The switch controls the connection. As given in the problem, we can observe this is a circuit switch network. Here, the there are actually four channels here, four channels, and those four channels are multiplexed into one. Two channels are multiplexed into one line, and here two lines are multiplexed into one. Here one is connected to this one, whereas the two is connected to the first one, and third one is connected to the second one, and fourth one is connected to the first one. In this way, they are connected, and these channel frequencies are 0 to 4 kilohertz. You can observe here. Once it is multiplexed, this channel frequency will become 0 to 8 kilohertz because in this particular link, two channels are passing the signals. Yeah, and here demultiplexing is done, and here you can observe um, um, uh, one is connected to a 7, as we said, and 2 is connected to 5, as we have seen in the example. So in this way, the circuit switch network will work. So in circuit switch network, the circuit establishment will take place before making the communication. So this is about the circuit switch network. Then another example we can see as another example, consider a circuit switch network that connects a computer to two remote offices of a private company. The offices are connected using T1 line. Already we have discussed in the previous topic. What is this T1? So T1 is a carrier system. So in this it will carry carrier systems. So it will carry uh, up to, so it's a T1 is a basic technology upon which all the T carrier facilities are based, using a full duplex digital signal over two wire pairs. T1 has a bandwidth of nearly 1.5 Mbps through a telephone switching network using AMI coding technique. Using time division multiplexing, TDM T1 divides this bandwidth into 24 individual DS0 channels, sampling each channel 8,000 times per second. So this is one type of carrier system to carry the signals. T1 line, released from a communication service provider. There are two 4 into two 4 inputs and 8 outputs switches in this network. For each switch, 4 output ports are folded into input ports to allow communication between computers in the same office. 4 other output ports allow communication between the two offices. Figure next 8.5 shows the same as given in the example. You can observe here. mm, it has the four inputs, one, two, three, four, and it has eight outputs, four here and four here, and here the multiplexing is applied, and this T1 will carry. Here, as already I said, T1 is having the bandwidth of 1.544 Mbps, and it can carry more channel signals into one. Whereas here demultiplexing is applied, and here you can observe in this four inputs are sent to the switch, and it is being converted as eight outputs as given in the diagram here. So with respect to the circuit switching, we need to discuss about the efficiency. Here, as I said already, in this particular circuit switch network, there are three phases here. There are three phases in the circuit switch network. In this, we have connection setup, and here we have data transfer phase and tear down phase. In the circuit switching, as I said, there are three phases. Connection setup. For a successful communication, there is a need to establish a dedicated circuit that is end-to-end connection from A to B, end-to-end connection between the two parties. This connection is done by dedicated links to switches. So here you can observe two switches are there between the parties A and B, and this is to establish a connection between A and B. These switches will help. Whereas the data transfer phase, once the dedicated line is established between A and B, actual data transfer takes place, um, and end-to-end devices will communicate each other A and B. Whereas after communication is over, tear down phase will occur when any of the end device needed to disconnect. A signal is sent to all the switches. Here, suppose B wants to disconnect it, it will send the message to each of the switch in between the transmission path, and it will release the all resources which was used in the communication. So this is how the circuit switching will work in three phases. They are connection setup, data transfer phase, and a tear down phase. And with respect to the efficiency, the circuit switch networks are not efficient as the network engage the resources for entire duration of the connection. That is, resources are dedicated. These resources are not available to other connections. Here, sharing of the resources will not happen when the resources are used by two parties. Clear. That is what the thing. And whereas the circuit switch network used in telephone channels is terminated as subscribe disconnects the link. But in data network, it is not so, and computer remain connected even if there is a no activity. See, here in, actually, the circuit switching is used in telephone network to make the communication. So this is about the efficiency. Whereas with respect to the delay also we need to consider. You can observe here. Um, Delay is minimum here, whereas total delay is due to the time needed to create a connection, transfer data. You can observe here. Uh, Delay is needed to connection transfer. mm Delay is due to the time needed to create the connection, transfer data, and disconnect the circuit. See here, here there is a delay here. You can observe here A party wants to communicate with the B, so it should send the request. By sending the request, it will get the response as okay, resources are allocated. You can continue the data transfer. So here you can observe data transfer is taking place. Once after the data transfer is done, so it will send the disconnection request back to the party. So in this way, it will work. And here in the circuit switch network, during data transfer, the data are not delayed at each switch. That is, there is no waiting time at each node or switch. Yeah, you can observe in the diagram. So this is about the um, circuit switching network. And some of the points we need to know here. Switching at the physical layer in the traditional telephone network uses the circuit switching approach. Already I said no. Actually, this particular circuit switching approach is used in the used at physical layer level. Yeah. So, this ends the circuit switch network, and the next we will move to the datagram networks. So this is related to the packet switching networks only. So this is packet switching. Already we have seen in the diagram. Under packet switching, two more sub-categories we have seen. So that is datagram network, first one. In data communications, we need to send messages from one end system to another. If message is going to pass through a packet switch network, it needs to be divided into packets of fixed or variable size. The size of the packet is determined by the network and the governing protocol. Here in the datagram network, it will adopt, datagrams are passed through the packet switching network, and actual information is divided into packets, fixed size packets, and sometimes it is variable size also, and those packets are sent to the datagram network. So here in this we are going to see routing table, efficiency, delay, and datagram networks in the internet. So here in a packet switch network, there is no resource reservation as we have seen in the circuit switch network. In packet switch network, there is no need of any resource reservation. Resources are allocated on demand. Whenever it is required, the resources are allocated. You can observe a datagram network with four switches. You can observe two, mm, one, two, three, four, four switches are there. Sorry, these four are the routers. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, these five routers are there. Through this, the communication takes place. Datagram network, you can see here, actual information is divided into datagram. One, two, three, four. Here, and these datagrams are passed in any of the shortest path or in any of the convenient path. Here, two the datagram two is passed, packet is passed in this way, and data packet three is passed in this way, whereas one is also passed in this way, and four is passed in this way. So see here from this router one is taking place here, and it is moving in this way. So um, in the packet switch network, the data is passed in the form of packets, and the packet can carry any of the path which is convenient to transfer. Okay, and why actually the end systems are A and X. They want to make the communication. See here the party X is receiving the end system X is receiving the data packets in this way. Clear? So one, four, three, two. In this way, the data packets are received. Why it is not in the sequential fashion means because the each individual packet will transfer to the different path, and the path size will vary from one packet to the other packet when it is in the data transfer. So it will reach the destination in the uh, different time duration. So this is the basic idea of datagram network, and routing table in a datagram network. You can observe whenever the packet is sent, every packet should have the two information, that is destination address and the output port. Every router is having the input port and the output port, and whenever the data is received by the router, first it will check the destination address of the packet, and it will check the output port to which port it should be sent. So everything is maintained by the router. So it is called as a router table. This information will be maintained about each of the packet in the router. So that's why it is called as a router table. The router will maintain the routing table. Okay? This is the basic idea of the routing table. A switch in a datagram network uses a routing table that is based on the destination address. The destination address in the header of the packet in a datagram network remains the same during the entire journey of the packet. See here, the destination address will not change during the transmission of the packet. because the destination address is based on the end system to which we want to pass the data. You can observe delay with respect to the delay in the datagram network. Um, First, we need to discuss about the efficiency. Efficiency of datagram network is better than the circuit switch network. There is little delay at each switch. That is, packet is becoming idle before it is forwarded at each switch. Here, there is a little delay at each switch, one, two, each switch. That is, packet becomes idle before it is forwarded to the next switch or node. Also different packet experiences different delays. Here, you can see here, the data packet is sent from party A to the router. So from this router to the next path, there is a waiting time here. See here, from here, there is once again a waiting time. Um, Here and the delay. Already we discussed about the efficiency as well as the delay. Here, total delay includes three transmission times, the three corresponding propagation delays along with the two waiting times W1 and W2. You can observe here W1 and W2. So total delay is three transmission time, one, two, three, oh, three transmission time plus three propagation delays plus two waiting time. Three transmission times, here also transmission time required, here also transmission time required, here also transmission time required. That is the three transmission time and three propagation delays. So propagation delay means to reach from party A to router and this router to the next router. So this is called the propagation delay plus two waiting times. Here also there is a waiting time and here also there is a waiting time. So totally this is called as three transmission time plus three propagation time plus two waiting time. So this is about the delay in the datagram network. Here, switching in the internet is done by using the datagram approach to packet switching at the network layer. You can observe switching in the internet is done by using datagram approach to packet switching at the network layer. This particular datagram approach is used at network layer, and circuit switching is used at the physical layer, as already we have seen. And next one is virtual circuit networks. In packet switching network, there are two things. One is datagram network, and second one is virtual circuit network. Virtual circuit network is a cross between a circuit switch network and a datagram network. It has some characteristics of both. In this, we are going to discuss addressing three phases, efficiency, delay, and circuit switch technology in WANs. You can observe here uh, in the virtual circuit network, there are end systems A, B, C, D, and in between we have the switches. Um, Here, virtual circuit identifier you can observe here. Each packet will be containing its own VCI, virtual circuit identifier. Here, data is there. With this, we have the virtual circuit identifier. Every packet should carry this type of thing. And before going to this explanation, we should understand. Um, See, virtual circuit network. In virtual circuit packet switching, a fixed path between a source and a destination is established prior to transfer of packets. Connection-oriented network is also known as virtual circuit. Virtual circuit is similar to a telephone system. A route which consists of a logical connection is first established between two users. The connection that is established is not a dedicated path between stations. The path is generally shared by many other virtual connections. Here, there is a slight difference between circuit switching network and a virtual circuit identifier, virtual circuit network. Here in circuit switching network, once the um, circuit is established between the source and the destination. That particular path or circuit will be used by the two parties. Once after completion of those two parties, next other parties can communicate. uh, Sharing of the resources, sharing of the circuit path is not allowed in the case of circuit switch network. Whereas to overcome that particular problem, we are going for virtual circuit network. In this virtual circuit network, a connection is established between source and the destination. Whereas when the connection is established, is not a dedicated path between the station. The path is generally shared by many other virtual connections based on the virtual circuit identifier. Yeah. So um, yeah, you can observe in the diagram. And here also you can observe switches and tables in a virtual circuit network. Data is here, data is here, and virtual circuit identifier is 77 here. Here virtual circuit identifier is 14 here. See here you can observe. Here it will maintain the table, switch table, switching table, incoming packet and outgoing packet. Incoming packet has its own port and incoming packet has its own virtual circuit identifier, whereas outgoing packet also is containing the port number and the virtual circuit identifier. And you can observe here this particular switch is containing the three ports, um, port 1, port 2, and port 3. And based on the port number what we have, it should carry the same. See here, in the data we have with the virtual circuit identifier 14, it should get in with the port number 1, and it should go out with the port number, um, okay, it should get in with the port number 14. Whereas the next example is data with the virtual circuit identified 22. It should come. It's a outgoing packet, and it should come out from the port number 3. So in this way, and you can observe here, outgoing packet data with the virtual circuit identifier 41. It should come out from the switch with the port number 2. So in this way, the switching table is used in the virtual circuit identifier. In this, port numbers also very important. Virtual circuit identifier is also very important. So based on these things, the actual communication takes place. And the source to destination data transfer in virtual circuit network. You can observe here a very um, a very sorry every switch should maintain its own table. See here it is maintaining the table. Here also it is maintaining the table. Here also it is maintaining the table. See here which are all the outgoing port numbers, and which are all the virtual circuit packets which can go out based on the VCI, virtual circuit identifier. In this way, the actual communication takes place. Here you can observe port number, incoming packets. It should get in to the switch with the port number 1, and its virtual circuit identifier is 14, and it is having the data this one, and it is getting here. And same packet should go out with the port number 3. Okay, some packet should go out from the switch, and its port number is 3, and virtual excuse me, virtual circuit identifier, um, 66 should go out from the port number 3. In this way, the data about the packets, its port number, its virtual circuit identifier is maintained in the table in the case of virtual circuit networks. And here, set up request in virtual circuit network. You can observe here, as we have seen in the circuit switching network. Here also three phases are there in the virtual circuit network. First one is establishment phase, second one is data transfer phase, and third one is connection release phase. This one is mm, uh, setup request. You can observe here setup request how it is going. Here it is going and it is going in this way and it is going out and the port number our virtual circuit identifier is 77. In this way, it is being shown. We can observe here during the establishment phase, during setup, a logical connection, the two users not only agree to set up a connection between them, but also decide upon a quality of service associated with the connection. After this sequence of packets, informations are transferred bidirectionally between the nodes. The information is delivered to the receiver in the same order as transmitted by the sender. In the data transfer phase, during this phase, it performs flow control and error control services. The error control service ensures correct sequence of packets and correct arrival of packets. Flow control service ensures a slow receiver from being overwhelming with the data from a faster transmitter. And last phase is connection release phase. When the station wish to close down a virtual circuit, one station can terminate the connection with a clear request packet and it will terminate the connection. So it is being shown in the thing. And next one is setup acknowledgement. See here, for everything, setup request. The setup request is sent to the destination, and whereas here setup acknowledgement is coming from the party B to the party A. Actually, in this diagram, party A is sending the request to establish the virtual circuit between end system A and the B, and here for the request from the A to B, the B is responding with the acknowledgement that okay, I am agree for making the communication. Same acknowledgement sent to the destination, source A for the communication. In a virtual circuit switching, all packets belonging to the same source and destination travel the same path, but the packets may arrive at at the destination with different delays if resource allocation is on demand. Yeah. In delay in virtual circuit network, so we need to discuss about the delay also. Before going to the delay, we need to discuss efficiency also. The resource reservation is made during setup or can be demanded on data transfer phase. The source can check availability of resources without actually reserving it. The time delay is observed at setup and other delay is observed at tear down connection release phase. Individually, packet faces no wait time between the okay, which is being shown in the diagram. You can observe here setup phase um, and here tear down phase. During the setup phase, um, here, time delay is observed at the setup and other delays observed at the tear down at the collection um, releasing time. Here, total delay. So, total delay. How we are going to calculate the total delay here means three transmissions here. Three transmissions from here and from here to here, three transmission. From here to here there are three. Okay, okay, sorry. This blue colored one is this is the transmission time. Here also transmission time, here also transmission time, here also transmission time. Three T's: transmission one, transmission two time, transmission three time. So totally three T we say, plus um, here we can say propagation delay. Three propagation delays here. These are the propagation delays. We can observe here propagation delay. The time taken to reach the destination or time taken to reach the next node is called as a propagation delay. Whereas next here we have the setup delay. Here there is a setup delay plus tear down delay also there. Totally here total delay is three transmission delays plus three propagation delays plus setup delay plus tear down delay. Uh, this is about the virtual circuit network delay and switching at the data link layer in a switching the wireless area network is normally implemented by using virtual circuit techniques. Um, Here, this ends the. Before going to this one, we will check. Uh, Okay, actually these topics are not there for your syllabus. This ends the switching topic, and I think this ends the module 3. Um, in the next coming days, we will see the module 4. Thank you, Ananda.